episode. Yeah.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to another episode of Sisterhood and Sanity
with Jesse and
Grace.
today.
It only took us 5 tries to get it, but here we are.
Today we are talking about what?
I have to look. I know what it's about. Boundaries, babies
and burnout. So, all the bees, right?
Yeah.
So, I think before we start, do you want to talk about like a funny story before we get into?
Yeah,
everything?
I always have all these funny stories in my head before we record, and then it's like I sit down and record, and they're all gone.
Yeah.
What did Blake's done so many things funny this week? Oh, the mosquito bites. So Blake is obsessed with Band-Aids, and she wanted a Band-Aid on her leg, and we were like, what do you need a Band-Aid for? And she goes, mosquito bite. Got a mosquito bite on my leg. And I was like, freaking mosquito bite. And then now she's always saying like, the mosquito bit me, like with a southern accent, and it's so funny.
What is that off of?
I feel like there's a YouTube video where they're like, what happened there? Mosquito bite me or something. Okay. But we were out here on the deck, and she was like, like the sweat bees are out really bad, and it was like following her around, and it was like, she was swatting, and I said, what is happening? She said, a mosquito bit me. Just like that. And I was like, Blake, like, where did you get that accent from? It's just so random, and it's so funny.
She's like sweetheart.
Yeah, sweetheart. It's her other thing.
Yeah. She says it all the time.
She was saying it to Rinley last night. Yeah. She was like, come here, sweetheart. And Jackie was dying laughing.
Yeah. All right. Funny story. I was trying to think of some of those that people called in for.
What about the one about let me see. With the skunk.
Okay. All right.
You want me to say it? Or are you gonna say it?
So our Aunt Missy, or I don't know, I guess she wanted to be anonymous.
She did?
I don't know. Well, anyways.
This one isn't like, it's just funny.
Yeah. So, her kids were outside playing, and
she always babysat growing up.
Yep, she always babysat, so she had a couple other kids there, and Silas came inside and said that there was something black and white
under the deck.
And so she thought that it was a skunk. So she was like, stay back, stay away from it, you're going to get sprayed. Well, then all day, that thing sat there, and her friend came over
to pick up her kid.
Yeah, to pick up her kid. I don't know. And when she got there, Aunt Missy was telling her about it, like, hey, there's like a skunk underneath our porch. And the friend was like, no way. So they go to the back. Well, Silas goes under to grab it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to read it again. It's been a minute.
The moral of the story, when he pulled out the skunk, it was a stuffed animal.
Yeah, and he like took off running with it, I think, or something.
And so they were dying because they thought whole time they thought it was a skunk.
So, and then I'm sure that when he ran up to grab that, like when you're as a mom, you're like, oh, don't touch it. Yeah.
And then find out
it's stuffed animal. Yeah, that'd be hilarious though.
That is hilarious.
I probably would, like, that's something Andrew and I would sit and laugh about forever, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a funny story. We've been busy, so like in the life of motherhood and sisterhood, we just moved into our new house, and my oldest started kindergarten and I started teaching, so it has been a whirlwind week for this gal over here.
Yeah, last week we were super busy. We helped Jesse move, clean, organize, and then we had Denver Days, which is like a national holiday for us. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we woke up every single morning with our feet hit the ground running.
So you're like so tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
I've been like sleeping in this week.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know you can't do, but that's what I've been
Yeah,
And Blake's been like getting more sleep than usual. Just like the last couple days, she's wanted to sleep in, and at first I was like, she's getting sick.
Yeah.
Instantly, that's what my mind goes to. But then, I mean, she's been fine. I think she's just literally so tired from being go and in the heat this last week and weekend. So
that is soaking up that sun because it's gonna be cold before you know it. Okay, so again, our topics today are boundaries, babies, and burnout. So, let's talk about boundaries, I guess. The first thing I think of with boundaries is learning to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything. And I struggle with this myself because I have learned and had to learn when to put my family and myself first before agreeing to do other things with others. Because if I feel like it's not in the best interest for my family, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I struggle with this a lot. It's easier for me, which this is like the worst trait of mine, when something's hard to just ignore it.
Yeah.
And so like I don't set boundaries. Like I don't come out and say like what my boundaries are or like make it apparent. I just like ghost people because it's easier to ignore than to be like, no, I'm sorry. And I don't feel like I should have to say sorry. I always feel like as a mom, you know what's best for your children and like your family. And so like if someone can't respect that, I guess that's more of like their problem. You know, I feel like when I first had Blakely, it was so hard for me because I did not want to make anyone upset, but also I was like so struggling with postpartum depression. And my whole world just changed. I feel like when you go from like 0 to 1, it's like, wow, life as you know it is like completely gone. So then I don't know, maybe it's like that from 1 to 2 too. I don't know, but like from 0 to 1, it was hard adjustment for Andrew and I both. I mean, we were used to sleeping whenever we want and doing whatever we wanted whenever we wanted. And so, yeah, I just was like lost. I didn't want anyone to come over because I was just so depressed. And then also breastfeeding on top of it was
bad,
awful. So that's like the one thing that I wish with Blakely, I would have just come out and set those boundaries so that way I didn't have people thinking that like I was just a bitch, honestly. Like I feel like people thought that I just didn't want them around, and that really wasn't the case. I just was dealing with so much mentally postpartum, like I was not well. So I do need to work on like setting boundaries, but I feel like as Blake gets older, I do better with just setting those expectations of like what is okay and what's not okay. But I particularly struggle with people that like I'm not super close with. So like if it's my family, I don't have an issue like just saying how I feel, but it's much harder when it's not like my family or like not my friends either.
Yeah, I guess that makes me think of work. So like with teaching, you're already doing a lot, but then you know, people ask, hey, can you do this? Or, hey, can you do study tables? Or, you know, and you feel guilty because you want to not feel like them to feel like you're not helping.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to be able to be with your family, you know? And obviously there's those times where you can help, but I feel like agreeing to do less versus more is going to help you in the long run.
Yeah. I think I mean, you know how I was whenever I was working, and I always felt like I was doing so much for other people. And I could never say no, like the hour situation. All of that. I mean, Jesse would look at me and I would be like, the things that I was having to do.
Yeah.
and the amount of workload that I feel like I had compared to like many other people, and Jesse got to sit through it, I mean, firsthand with me, but yeah. I think Jesse was more like, she was more willing to say no, while
but
I'm
also older. So
yeah.
I think like I've been in those jobs where I've said yes, 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 and at the end of the day I'm exhausted, I miss my family,
and the burnout.
Yeah. So that the boundaries and burnout, and obviously kids are thrown in there, but I think as ourselves as moms like have to learn how to put ourselves first. And that also makes me think of, work is a boundary for one. You have to learn how to set those boundaries for work. But then friendships, that's another thing. And like me personally, I've had that experience of having a friendship, and when you set up a boundary, them just ghosting you because of that boundary you finally set up, of where like, okay, well, obviously they don't need me anymore because I've said no, and so I've learned that through friendships. And like, again, I've said on the podcast before, like, family is everything and all you have is family. So I do have friends at work, but at the end of the day, like, you're my family, and I know that no matter what, if I say no to something, you're going to understand, and if you don't, I don't care. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've definitely like, I don't set boundaries really with friends. I don't ever really have anyone that like does too much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have friends that like show up in a way that they could even overstep a boundary. I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I only have, I don't know.
I feel like just these days too, like once you get into a different part of life of like kids and you're drowning in it, I feel like that's where like friendships that I had for a long time where we would hang out and all the time, that falls away.
100%.
When you have kids. And so like I have,
you will find out exactly who your true friends are when you have kids.
And like I still have some of those friends. It's just not like,
it's not the same relationship. And I hate, like, I have friends that don't have kids, and that's fine, but I don't always feel like we can relate on that level. And like, going out and like doing things is obviously harder for me than someone that doesn't have kids. So like, I do feel bad like when I have to be like, sorry, I can't, like, all the time. I feel like that's me. And that's not always because I don't have a babysitter. I mean, sometimes I just don't want to go. Like,
100%. I'm the worst. I will literally talk myself out of anything.
Yeah. Like, especially if I have to get ready to go somewhere, it's probably a no.
Or if I feel like I'm going to have to socialize and I don't want to, it's probably a no.
Yeah. Like,
but I mean, I think that's okay though. I think that's where people
if I'm going to get anxious about going, I'm probably not going.
Yeah, exactly. And why do you have to?
I don't know. I feel like that's the people pleaser in me.
Yeah. And I guess where that's like, maybe I've grown out of that. Like, I became more blunt, I feel like, than just being like, okay, whatever, I guess I'll just go. Like,
yeah, I feel like having a kid has made me less blunt.
Yeah.
It's made me a softie.
I don't know about that. For you. But I think you've definitely like softened up, but you're still blunt.
Yeah. I guess it depends on who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Do you think like talking about boundaries, do you think that like also has to do with like how you've grown up, like learning to just act like everything's okay and
100%
agree just to do it just because you don't want
to ruffle the feathers. Yeah. And then I get super anxious, like knowing that I've upset someone. Like whenever I first had Blakely, people were upset about not being able to come over to the house. Right. I mean, I had a newborn baby, and like, maybe that's fine for everyone else, but like, I literally was not well. Like, I was sitting on my couch crying, like, I'm not kidding you, bawling my eyes out, breastfeeding my child. And like, people wanted to come over and visit, and I was like, no, like, I'm not mentally well. And then that made a lot of people very, very upset with me. And then I was like so anxious because I made people upset. Yeah. But like, I don't think people realize like I was not mentally well. Like, anyone knows that. Like, Jackie literally had to come get me out of the freaking house because I stayed in the house for 2 weeks after I had Blakely and did not leave. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other than to take Blake to the doctor.
And I think that that's the reality for a lot of moms. So it's like good that you're, talking about it.
I just really like hate that moms feel like they have to share like that newborn stage with everyone else. Like, I get people like, yeah, you might be family, like, but like Jesse, you didn't even see Blakely. One, you guys were sick right when I had her, which, yeah, that
We're always sick.
Yeah, and then the second time, like, then after that, I was struggling with my postpartum depression, and I'm not kidding you when I say I was literally sitting on this couch, bawling my eyes out every single day.
Yeah.
Like, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I can probably literally pull up our security footage and show you me unwell. Like,
yeah. And I think that's where...
Yeah, or eating Oreos.
I was literally thinking Oreos.
I ate an entire... I did not gain any weight while I was pregnant, and then when I started breastfeeding, I would eat an entire thing of Oreos in just one sitting.
Yeah.
While breastfeeding.
But I think
I was so famished.
Well, I think that's just the change in your emotions, and like a lot of moms, obviously it's great to have a baby. Everyone deals with, postpartum differently. Mm-hmm. But I think like for me, the experience was different for the second one. I felt that same way. I felt like I was in over my head, and I felt like I was drowning, and I felt, alone.
Like, all I wanted was my sisters to come sit with me, and that's it. Like, I didn't want my friends. Honestly, like, yeah, I love Andrew, and like, I wanted him here, but he wasn't a mom. Yeah. And like that, all those hormones that hit you, and you're freaking out, and no one understands but people who have had a child before. Mm-hmm. And so like, that was really like a struggle of like getting out of that mental state, and like being like, it's going to be okay. Like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But that also like feeds into that mom guilt of like, I don't remember those like first 2-3 weeks of Blake like even being here because I was so unwell. Mm-hmm. Mentally.
But I think that you have to also forgive yourself for that, because that's just, Yeah,
I mean, I know she won't remember, but I feel like that will be definitely a healing moment when I have my next one of like, wow, like, I get to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. moment. Like, hopefully I get to enjoy. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm going into it too, of like, I kind of know now more what to expect than obviously before I ever had a kid. I had no idea what to expect. And then like, I went through labor, and it wasn't traumatic, but it was just, I mean, that's a lot on your mm-hmm. body. So
I guess like talking about all these, like, how do we set those boundaries? Like, how do you as a mom know?
I don't know. You probably know more than me. No. I don't set boundaries. I just ghost them. I'm like, oh, if you wanted to come over, sorry, my phone stopped working today. Mm-hmm. I'm the worst.
I mean, I definitely do that as well, but I think like for me, if it's gonna make me anxious, like you said earlier, and for myself, like I think about my kids always. So mm-hmm. like, if I feel like for that night and what's going on, if I feel like if I leave them, that like I'm just gonna worry about them, I'm not going.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be more anxious and hate my night because I'm away, I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm more like better about setting boundaries when it comes to like, if it's just with me. I feel like it's harder for me when it's like something with Blakely, like we're supposed to go do something and there's going to be kids there. Mm-hmm. And like, really, it's just not working out for my family. But like, that is way harder for me than it, like, if my friends are like, oh, we're going out tonight, you need to come or whatever. Yes. And then I'm like, it's okay, I can't find a babysitter. Yeah. In all reality, I just want to stay home.
Yeah.
So
for sure. But I think that's okay because we're in that time of life of like your kids are only going to be small for so long, and like with Quinlan starting school and Baker now, it's like those little babies that depend on you are going to slowly not do that anymore.
100%.
And you will have that
like,
time back.
Super, which you guys know this, but like if my kid wants to lay on me and cuddle, she's laying on me and cuddling, and I do not care what anyone has to say about that. Like, I know that this is a short-lived thing. Like, now we have Owen, who's literally
man child.
Yeah, like ready to go off to college, basically.
Feet bigger than mine.
Yeah, and he doesn't need us anymore. And then like when they started school, I was literally sitting on this couch crying, looking at the pictures of Quinn. Like, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Looking at the pictures of Owen going to school, I was literally like, oh my gosh, I remember when I held you in my hands and you were so small and you had no idea what the world was even about, and now you want to ride the bus, Owen.
I know.
It's wild. Like you can be a car rider. You do not need to be in a vehicle with anyone else but your aunts and your mom and your loved ones. Like, I'm not trust nobody with my kids.
Oh, I get it.
And then when Owen got off the bus yesterday, I was like, did you like riding the bus? And I was fully expecting him to be like, no, it was so hot and such a long ride. And he was like, yeah, I loved it. My friends were on there. And I was like, stop. No, you need to hate it. I want you to not like it so we can take you to school, but you loved it. And then that broke my heart even more.
Yeah, I think that's also too like our self experiences, and I try to remind myself that too.
Yeah, I try to remember that, like, just because that was me as a child, that's not my kid as a child. It's just very, very hard because I was actually talking to my nail tech about this today. We will show up for our kids no matter what.
Yeah.
We will be 100% in on our kids no matter what, because we never want them to think any differently. And we want to protect them from everything. And so yeah, I feel like that's why we like are almost, we're not overbearing, but we really, really want to show our kids that we love them. I want my kid to be able to come and tell me anything. And I want to, if something that I'm doing is upsetting her, I mean, there's obviously going to be things that are upsetting, but like hurting her, like mentally or emotionally, I want her to come to me and be like, Mom, this is really upsetting me. And I would love to apologize. Like, I want to be that mom that's like, I make mistakes too because I'm a human and it's okay to make mistakes. And I feel like we didn't always have that growing up. And so I want to be able to take accountability and do what's right for my kid always. So I think that that's where that stems from, of wanting to be in control and like protecting our children.
Yeah, for sure.
Always.
For sure. And I think that it's hard. That's where we have those boundaries or walls set up sometimes, because we're like, no, I don't think that'll be good for them, so I'm not doing it. Yeah. When like for yourself as a child, it might not have been good, but for them, it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely think, and I always try to make sure Blake feels safe. Yes. Like, we can go to Kokomo Beach, you know, and I'm that mom that's literally running around the water slides the whole, like, I'm running because I have to keep my eye on her at all time. And there's moms just waiting in the water, and I love that they can be relaxed like that. But me, I can't, because of when I got lost at Wisconsin Dells, that literally scarred me for life. Like, I still to this day get anxiety about Wisconsin Dells, and I never ever ever want Blake to feel like she is like not safe or scared to do something. I want to support her and be like, you can do it, you're safe, mommy, you know, mom is here, dad is here, we always support you. And so that's another thing too, is like, I don't want me to instill my fear on her so she doesn't want to do things.
Yeah, I agree. What was I gonna say? We
It's
Everyone's
Ridley.
eyes.
It's the little voice for me.
I feel like we've like really talked about boundaries. So I feel like we need to kind of
move on.
And we threw in, you know, talking about our kids and how that plays into boundaries. But then talking about burnout, like emotional and physical exhaustion. Like I feel like that is hand in hand. Like,
yeah, I mean, I experienced burnout whether I was working or whether I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah,
I was burnout at my job, or I'm burnout here from taking care of my kid. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like those.
So I think like
that definitely goes with boundaries, though.
I was gonna say, us as moms, like learning to set those boundaries. So you have to decide for yourself what those boundaries are. I feel like you can't define those as just one thing. But if it is taking away from your joy, then it needs to be a boundary.
I mean, I just feel like that's something I talk to Andrew about sometimes whenever he gets home from work, and I feel like, he's been at work, but Blake wants him, and like I am more than happy for her to go to him because I'm just so overwhelmed with the day of like having a toddler on top of me, literally picking my nose or giving me a wet willy. Like, so, you know, I think that, I get super burnt out during the day when I'm home alone with her, and I just want like interaction with an adult.
Right. So I feel like even this summer that was really hard for me. I think we talked about this on another episode, right? That it was very overwhelming summer for me, mentally, and because my kids, you know,
that you're home with them 24/7.
And then jumping straight back into teaching, I'm already kind of emotionally exhausted, and now I'm emotionally, physically. So like, how do we, or what
do you think's harder? Do you think staying home is harder or working's harder?
I like routine. So I think that being at work sets a good routine and structure.
But do you think you're more exhausted with which one?
I feel like I'm more exhausted when I'm at work because of my job. Maybe not every job, but for me, mentally, I'm having like, I don't know, any TikTok shows this for a teacher, but like I am having hundreds of questions asked of me all day long. And when I get home, I have the exact same thing, less children, right? But same thing. So when I wake up at 4:30 to just have that hour to myself, that's the only quiet time I get. Other than that, I have, can I go to the bathroom? I need a pencil. Do we need our iPads today? All just these little things that you think in your brain, like, okay, it's fine. But at the end of the day, I just want to shut it off. So like for me, I need to work on better self-care as far as like I get up and work out for myself. That's one thing that I do for myself to help me. But I'm still tired. So like, I don't know. I think for me, I tried to start reading more to like kind of zone out. But again, I have to wait for my kids to actually let me do that. So whether it's a bubble bath, reading for a minute, I don't know. What ideas do you have?
Well, when I was working, it was different because I felt more physically exhausted from working, but I wasn't as mentally and emotionally as exhausted as I am when I stay home. So I feel like I take more me time now that I stay home than I did when I was working.
Which I get 100%. Like during the summer, I felt like when Damon would get home, I would be like, I just need you to take them, or I just need to get out of the house, and I don't need anyone to bother me.
I just don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
It's the touching and and I keep, I tell myself it will only be like this and you're going to miss this. So that's how I get through the days, most days. But for my my me time. I work out. Sometimes at night I'll take a bath. Um, or like if I just want to veg out and just watch a movie by myself or be on my phone, I'm never by myself. But like Andrew's here, so like he can kind of help with Blake and she'll like go back and forth between us. But like that's kind of like my me time. Um, but like that's really, I mean, unless I go out of the house and do something, like I get my nails done, that's my me time. I yeah, that's, and I do go get a massage once a month, so that's my me time too. But other than that, yeah, I'm really bad about like taking like even just 20 minutes to myself.
I know. And like I would just love a day to like just go shopping. Like
yeah, I always say
that's
that,
a recharge for me.
I always say that, and then I like get out of town, and then I'm like, man, I just miss my kiddo. But yeah, I agree. I love to just like take a day and like just go do something that I don't usually get to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't go shopping with Blake usually. Like
I don't go shopping. If it's shopping, it's online. I don't even go to the grocery store. I order online. So that's where I'm like, when I can just go and not worry of someone running off.
And actually being able to look at stuff.
Yeah.
Like Blake and I went to Hobby Lobby and Target. And in Hobby Lobby, you know, you're having to worry about her touching everything because everything it seems like is breakable. And then by the time we got to Target, she's like spent. So then like we're in Target and she wants every single toy. There was literally a ball sitting in one of the aisles, and she was like whining because she wanted the ball. So I just gave in and I was like, here's the freaking ball. Like, please just stop so I can finish when I can get what I need to get and we can get out of here. But like, yeah, I would love to just like go shopping for a day and not have like, I don't want to go shopping with my husband. Like, I would go shopping with you guys, but like Andrew sits there and like waits on me and like stands there and is like, are we done? Like, and then if I ask him if he likes something, he's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, he doesn't want to be there. So then I get even more annoyed.
Yep. And I think that's like a normal response because that's just not something that they enjoy to do. So I think we just need to make sure that we find that time for ourselves, and our listeners or viewers like do that for yourself as well. Yeah. Like, if I know most of you can connect.
Like when you're burnout, I always say this. Like when I'm burnt out, I'm not being the best mom. I'm not. I'm probably very quick to
get mad.
My temper's up there. My patience is short. I am a much, much better mom when I am rested, when I have had a moment to myself. And I can guarantee you I'm a better wife and a better mom when I get when I go do something with my friends or I get out of the house for a day. That next day I feel so rejuvenated. I'm cleaning the house. I'm taking care of my kid, doing projects with her. Like, I don't do those things when I'm just sitting there with her all day long and I haven't gotten a break.
Yeah, I agree. I think that myself, once I get past this beginning of school starting, I'll feel more available and ready to like do whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I agree, burnout and not setting those boundaries and having all these things causes that overload, overstimulation.
And then you don't want to ask for help either. That's another part of it too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think we've covered boundaries pretty well. If you have any stories about boundaries, how you've set boundaries, what works for you, what hasn't worked for you, and maybe stories about that, and how that taught you to change maybe your mindset or saying yes. Did your babies or childhood affect those boundaries? And then burnout.
Yeah.
Have you experienced burnout? What did that feel like? How did you change it?
Yeah, I didn't know. Did we want to do the reality check or anything like that?
I think the reality check for me this week is Quinn going to school, because that was like, I didn't know what to expect, and she's gone to preschool, so I was like, okay, we got this, and she likes school. She loves school. She's a learner. She's so smart. Yeah. She's so social. She's outgoing normally. So going to kindergarten has been like shell shock, because I didn't know what to expect. And then when she gets there, she likes it, but at the same time, she is scared. And I don't like my kid being scared, because, again, just like you said, I want them to always feel safe. And I'm a big person on protecting my kids. That's why no one really watches them. And I am with them 24/7, because I never want them to feel like I've ever felt. And so school, when I don't have control over that environment, because my mother-in-law always watched them, so I knew where they were and I knew they were cared for, but I'm giving the responsibility to these people I don't know very well. And so that's been very hard for me. And it's like a reality check of like, it's going to be okay. And you got to just rip the Band-Aid off and let her,
Yeah.
live her life and figure it out. I don't want her to, I don't want kids to be mean to her and it's going to happen. I don't want adults to be mean to her and it's going to happen. But I don't want to take away that innocence of childhood from her. And, so that's been a big reality check for me, because learning how to navigate that, and maybe every kid's different, but it is a big transition for children. And the requirements in school for kindergarten now than when we were in school are also different. And I feel like it's a lot on the children.
Yeah, I agree that school's way different. I mean, I was helping Owen with e-learning last year, and what he was doing in 3rd grade, I probably didn't do till I was in middle school. And I totally understand we want to make the next generation better, but unrealistic expectations. I felt bad for him, because it was a timed writing, and he had to write 3 paragraphs in like 45 minutes as a 3rd grader, complete sentences. And I'm watching him, but I'm also watching 2 other kids at the same time, both toddlers. And so I was trying to help him the best that I could with that, but it made me feel sick, because I was like, that is unrealistic for a 3rd grader to write a 3-paragraph essay, which most people can't even do in high school. Let's be so for real. And it was timed. It made me it made me upset. And then I was thinking about like when Blake goes to school. I mean, I can only imagine what the expectations are going to be then. So then that gives me anxiety thinking about these kids under all that pressure, and we thought it was hard. And they're having to do stuff that's way, 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 way more advanced than what we had to do.
I feel like in one of our episodes coming up, we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because there has been a big shift from kids in school.
I want my kid to want to go to school. I want my kid to have fun in school. A huge, huge part of going to school is for socialization. Let's let kids be freaking kids. All right. And so I guess that's part of my reality check too, is that Blake will be starting. I mean, it's just a 3-year-old class, but that she'll be starting that in the next month. And whenever I saw Quinn go to school, I cried. And I saw Owen go to school, and then I cried again. And then I can only imagine how bad I'm going to be when my kids just the very, very first time ever.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Baker. And yeah, I was just thinking about that. And then, someone else caring for her for 2 hours, but still like someone that's not my family. Because literally the only people that watch Blake are you, Jackie, Mom. And so that is and I do that for a reason, because I struggle trusting people to take care of her the way that I want her to be taken care of. And so, and then I get anxiety too, because yes, she's potty trained, but like it says like she's supposed to be able to wipe and pull her pants up by herself. And so we've been working on that, but like that is hard for a 3-year-old. Like that is, I mean, she can do it, but it's not like her pants are probably going to be sideways and
they'll help her too. They will.
But that was another thing. I was like, oh my gosh, like what if she has to go potty and like she's scared or something, the mom's not there? But I have to let it go, because eventually she's going to go to school, and I do not want her to not be set up for success.
Yes, but they have to learn those start to learn those rules and expectations early, because then that will help with their transition.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I was like kind of on the fence of putting her in like this class. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, she stays home with me 24/7. She only plays when mommy's there or she's with her family. She needs that socialization.
It teaches her to share.
I am not setting her up for success if I do not give her the tools. She's gonna, or otherwise, she's going to start kindergarten and she is going to literally think her world turned upside down, because she has never had to share. She has never had to have that structure of, I'm going to be away from my mom for this amount of time when I've been with her for 24/7. That is not setting my kid up for success. So she needs to do this. She needs to learn to play with other kids without mom there. If it's 2 hours twice a week, that's what it is, and that will help her, because eventually it will be way more than that. So yeah, I just need to learn to let that go, of that like control aspect. But it's definitely like giving me a little anxiety, but I know she'll be fine. And it's 2 hours twice a day, like, or twice a week, and so I know like that's a short amount of time. She's going to be fine, and that's how I am setting her up to be successful in the future when she does have to go to school. So, and I think that that's really important as a stay-at-home mom. As much as like personally I want to keep her, that's selfish of me to set her up for failure like that. So
yeah, I agree, but we will have to touch back on that, I think, next time.
Yeah, school, that would be a good episode for sure. We're still looking for someone that wants to open up about their childhood too.
I found one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I've been trying but been unsuccessful. Yeah. But you talk to way more people, so yep, we can
so next episode hopefully will be about childhood, and we're having a guest speaker to talk with, which I think will be awesome. So you guys are listening to somebody else, and childhood is a touchy topic, so having somebody else to speak about their childhood is going to be cool.
Yeah, and we can ask questions and stuff. I will preface by saying, like, whatever this person feels comfortable talking about is what we will talk about. We want to respect everyone's like boundaries. And that childhood can be so triggering for so many, and so, you know, we just want to be respectful and make sure that they feel comfortable, because it is, I mean, that is their story to tell. So
yeah, exactly.
So we will see how, I mean, deep it is, but just be very patient with whomever we're bringing on. I don't even know.
Yeah. So. And I appreciate all the feedback we've gotten from people watching. You know, if there are tips or stuff that's messing up, or stuff you would like us more to talk about, or if we're gabbing too much, let us know, because we would love to make this a platform for everybody.
Whatever you guys want to hear is what we want to put out there. So we definitely appreciate, I mean, we are going off of what our ideas are, of what we think people want to hear, but we don't know. So whatever you want to hear more about, less about, please comment. please message us. You're not going to hurt our feelings.
No.
I can literally promise you will not hurt my feelings. We just want feedback. We want to know. We want to be successful for you guys to see what you guys want to listen to on your drive to school or such. So
yeah, I guess like one weird thing I want to end with, and maybe we can talk about it more next time.
Oh no,
is
not weird.
The armadillos that Andrew was talking about. Now I can't quit thinking about it. If you've seen anything on TikTok, Fox News, he said about armadillos in Indiana, let us know.
I wasn't even paying attention when you guys were talking about it.
That is wild to me.
Armadillos in Indiana? I guess I don't even know like where they would normally be. I'm like that out of it right now.
I don't know. I feel like Arizona. Anyways, all right. Well, that is all for now.
So if you've heard about the armadillos, please shoot us a message.
All right. That's all for now.
We will talk to you guys on the next episode.
Bye. I'm dead. Okay. You gotta pause it.